what with the topic of the previous video, one thing that I would like to talk about further with the sole pastime of Ark is fishing and how they haven't updated it at all. For one of the sole things you can do that isn't involved with the main story or building up basically, I guess you could say, the main gameplay loops, building a base, conquering the ark, so to speak, exploring, and I guess fighting the bosses. I mean, in a way, I guess you could say that most of, bosses, you guys know how the gameplay loop arc goes. So, why did they never update fishing? One particular thing is that fishing, it might just be a pastime, but it's also one of the few ways to get loot. So, you'd think they would update it with basically really the two ways I could tell you to do it would be one, add in new species of fish to catch, as well as other things potentially. You know, why no catfish? Why no tuna? Hell, octopuses. Oh, man. I tell you, the creature votes, a little off topic, but just awful. It's like, ugh, I'll talk about that some other time, but the fact that, something as simple as, and Ark devs say they like to not add creatures that have no purpose. And while, yeah, tuna, you can't tame it, making it to where there's super good loot as well with, there was one thing I mentioned on some video somewhere, but make it to where the deep sea animals like mosasaurs and Tusoteuthus, i.e. the kraken, the giant squids, make it to where they'll surface for short periods of time and attack ships. So, if you want to catch the best fish, you gotta go out into the depths of the ocean, or not the depths per se, but you gotta go out where there's all manner of horrible things. Imagine if you not only had to worry about Lead 60's attacks, but mosasaurs and fucking kraken attacks and stuff. Also, you can catch the big tuna, baby. Massive fuckers. Get that mid loot. Still mad about the taxidermy thing. I remember them talking about those stuffed fish. And oh. Oh. But, basically, I mean, realistically, I'm surprised mods don't do this, where, you'd have basically just more fish, bass, hell, I've said a lot of modern fish, go hog wild, modern fish, I'm always a proponent of adding modern animals to Ark, prehistoric fish, oh my goodness, the fact there wasn't any kind of like monstrous, just nightmare fuel fish that you could, you know, let's go fishing. Goes into admiration. I'll go catch a nice coelacanth. Pulls out this tentacular horror. Oh, that's great. I guess I guess the shotgun schematic will make up for the nightmares. But none of that. None of that was in the game, and well, man, it's so easy. It is so easy to do. Hell, I guess the Atlas Animals mod kind of fixes it with a couple of fish. Personally, I would mod those things, and for that reason, I mean, there's 3 fish that you can catch. Meanwhile, there's, I think, like 5 or 6, like, levels of gear. Yet, and the other stuff. Plus, imagine being able to catch, like a whale-sized tuna or some fucking shit like that. And one of the other ways I guess you could do it in terms of this is gear. Why the fact there's only one fishing rod, and well, I guess the fact that fishing is more of a Simon Says game, but that's, well, I guess, and I mean, Red Dead style fishing. I mean, you guys have seen fishing mini games. Compare just about any fishing mini game to Arks. I would like to see an upgrade to it myself, but on top of that would be the gear itself. You know, hell, I personally wish you could actually, you know, go with like a hand spool, a hand rod, and a piece of prime meat, I guess, to do just fishing for fishing's sakes. But for actual food, then make it to where you have the normal fishing rod for catching fish with the possibility of actual loot, and then do a more modern nylon fishing rods. It'd probably be polymer in this case, a fabricated fishing rod that maybe make it do a little better in reeling in fish. Hell, maybe even make it to where you could actually get, I mean, you got guys have played it one button mash wrong and bam, it's gone. Do it with a fabricated will maybe make it to where you can, one or two failed attempts. Then, well, I guess if you want to do a sci-fi fishing rod, I mean, they'd probably fucking sell it as a DLC, to be honest with you. But then you got your fishing rods, and then you got the artificial lures. I think there was one of these in the dev kit, though personally I would do, well, the one in the dev kit looks more like something you'd use to like fish for squid. But on top of that one, do maybe like really customizable fishing lures that you can craft and don't spoil. But maybe make it to where they don't, you know, I guess you can make it to where they don't catch fish as much. Maybe the fish are a little suspicious. But the fact that you can just craft them and they don't spoil, and bait on demand, would be in itself worth the hassle of having to wait at least a little longer to catch fish. I mean, it's up to any modders or devs. I doubt the devs will do it, but any modders who want to do this, I personally would like to see this as a mod. But I mean, you guys have seen the artificial lures just go hog wild. Basically making it to where you can customize it, basically like the custom food recipes, but with a little more depth. But you could pick what the lure looks like, the color of it. With the sort of squid lure, you could make it like a glowing lure, and what color the lure glows in. Um, you know, so on and so forth. Uh, and I guess, I mean, if you want to modify, I mean, really without going in, being able to edit stuff, I really can't go too in depth with it. It's really up to your imagination with that stuff, but it seems like such an easy thing to do, and a really neat thing to do. I would like to see that, but you know, I guess if you guys want to mod this in, it would be nice. Now, it definitely would be nice seeing as the devs just forgot about fishing as a pastime. Um, I guess that's really it. There's not really much else to say. Definitely would try to get that sort of breaching behavior for the sea creatures, as well as adding in some, stuff, swordfish, you know, steal those Atlas assets, guys. They're not gonna miss them. Hell, maybe I don't know how people would feel about having ichthyosaurs and dolphins stealing people's fish off the lines, but maybe some, add in some more depth to the actual game of fishing. Definitely make it more better than just a Simon Says game, but well, maybe I guess add in some more movements, to it, to where it's not just the fish coming straight at you. Have it jank side to side sometimes. It's really up there. I mean, if you guys want to try and do it, I would be very much obliged. I can't play it because I don't have the PC version, but and there's no mod menu. Oh, no mod menu for the freaking console. But I'd imagine people would be very much obliged with it. Assuming anybody downloads it. I would definitely download it. But I guess leave your opinions on it. You know. See you in the next video, I guess.